Tell me, what do you think about what happens when you die?
Nothing. Full stop. You go to sleep. It's over and done with. You're born. If you have good health, you're lucky. No, it's all the luck of the draw what happens to you when you're born, I think, and when you die.
Are you afraid at all?
What, of dying?
Yes.
No, what's there to be afraid of? You only go to sleep. I mean, if I get down there on my bed and go to sleep, I know nothing till the next morning. Well, I just won't be the next morning, so that's how I'll be. Some other poor soul's got to come along and shovel me up and take me down the road. But, oh no, I've no fear of dying.
Because it worries me sometimes.
What, when you die?
Yeah, I mean, I do lie awake at night sometimes.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
I mean, I can lie awake at night and get those sort of night frights. That sense in which one day, inevitably, I know that I'm not going to be here anymore, and therefore, where is the me that's now that won't be there then?
Well, you die. That's it.
Del cammin di nostra vita, mi ritrovai per una selva oscura che la
In the middle of the journey of our life, I came to myself within a dark wood where the straight way was lost.
Selva selvaggia e aspra e forte.
Ah, how hard a thing it is to tell of that wood. Savage and harsh and dense, the thought of which renews my fear. So bitter is it, that death is hardly more.
I don't know the local place called Purgatory. I know the Heavens and the Horns, which is, I'm guessing Purgatory's in between.
Isn't that a place where people who committed suicide go and heathens go, but not babies who've been christened? They go to limbo or something like that?
It's a place for lurking about before it's decided whether you're going upstairs or down.
I don't know, maybe it's kind of the men's toilets actually in the middle of Stroud.
It would conjure up to me confusion, desires and those sort of things, yes.
It's often freezing cold, people frozen up to their necks in ice and stuff like that. But I think also it can be part of the human condition. I'm in Purgatory.
Oh, we go to the wood? Yes, we go for the wood for a walk, but no, we're not going to Purgatory.
Quanto a dir qual era e cosa dura.
I found myself on the abysmal valley of pain, which resounds with the noise of countless wailings, strange tongues, horrible language, voices loud and hoarse. This miserable state is borne by the wretched souls of those who have lived without disgrace and without praise.
It sounds as if somebody might have been put there because they were naughty. But because I mean there was the pest house, you know, what's it called? The isolation hospital was up there. We had a workhouse down in our bottom field, so maybe Purgatory was sort of like. You tell me.
Well, it may have been because if anyone was probably sent there to work, you know, they were sent out on a limb, basically, I suppose, of society, wasn't it? Do you think? Connected with the isolation.
Yes.
Hospital.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Sure.
Well, the isolation hospital was actually across the next valley. The word purgatory to me means somewhere that people are sent, or you are isolated from everybody.
Yeah.
That's how I see purgatory.
I would too.
Yeah.
You'd be away from the things that you absolutely love. And
is it somewhere where you expect to end up?
I hope not.
No, I hope not.
No, definitely not.
No.
I'm going to end up in heaven looking down at this place.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I hope, I wouldn't, I mean, I hope I'm not naughty enough to go to purgatory.
Well, likewise. But we never know.
Well, absolutely. It all depends on how people rate us, really. No, I hope that purgatory is somebody that, I don't know, somebody that doesn't contribute to society and things like that, I think. Perhaps somebody that's been naughty. No, I hope I don't end up in purgatory. I should be very disappointed if I do.
What do you think happens when you die?
When I die, I go to heaven. And my soul will stay here. Half of me will go up and half of me will stay here. I mean, there's a lot of me here. And I definitely believe that we meet up with everybody else. So it'll be jolly.
They have no hope of death, and so abject is their blind life, and they are envious of every other lot. They are mixed with that caitiff choir of angels who were not rebels, nor faithful to God, but were for themselves.
We have to say, I think that Dante had a very dramatic, a very powerful, a very energetic sense of human nature in its power to moral self-determination and in its power to a kind of spiritual ecstasy. When we go on into the Purgatory and the Paradiso, and the Inferno always has to be interpreted in the context of the Purgatory and Paradiso.
I knew there was one place called Purgatory, but I thought it was near Paradise, and then I did find out that there was a Purgatory just over there. I make a stew out of nettles and comfrey. Would you like to come and see it? This is comfrey. So this, with these nettles, okay, go into this bin here. And this makes a wonderful, wonderful black liquid. You don't need to go to the shops to buy Baby Bio or any of those things. This makes a fantastic, look at it.
It stinks, I can smell it from here.
Yeah, I know, isn't it delicious? This is why I get such good crops.
Oh, see, it's not a stew that I'm going to
eat. No, I wouldn't feed it to you, no. I think we are all part of a system of some kind. Whether you call it Gaia or whether you call it, I don't know, atoms, or I'm like a leaf, or I'm like a mouse, or I'm like a flower. And I think that, in a way, one of the problems with our society is the fact that we've kind of forgotten that. There is a political aspect, isn't there? That if you can see an afterlife, then you can bear whatever injustices or whatever evil is done either to you or by you on this earth. So if there is an afterlife, then there's something better to come, or there's some reward to come to sort of see you through.
What's going to happen to you when you die?
I'm going to be composted. The trouble is, I'm going to have to change the legislation, aren't I? I just love the idea of just going into a compost heap and then helping to fertilise the soil.
Purgatory is that state when a person dies, they're not quite ready to enter heaven, but they go through a state of cleansing and purification in order to come into the presence of God. How long that state is, we don't always know, but it is dependent on the degree in which they are needing cleansing and needing purification.
What actually happens in purgatory then?
Well, again, we don't know for certain. We just have a sense, and theologians and historians would say it is connected with life's experience of suffering. None of us like suffering and none of us will accept suffering. But suffering in itself can bring character, it can bring a positive dimension. But again, purgatory is recognizing that maybe through the whole dying process, some of us die not quite ready, some of us die in a condition we're not really prepared. So God in His mercy gives us, if you like, an opportunity through purgatory to suffer a little more in order to come into His presence. You know, Jesus did say that there is hell, and for those who deliberately reject God's message, then they will have eternal punishment.
I was brought up as a regular churchgoer, and I respect the church very much, but I don't think there's much future when your time is up. It's just like switching a light off. When you die, that's it. This is my own version of the health and safety requirements. Makes it safer to walk up and down. Whoops. These old beams are probably old ship's timbers, so I've been told.
Can you see where Purgatory is from here?
It's the other side of those trees, about 3/4 mile in that direction.
Do you know why Purgatory was so named?
I have no idea. You can just guess. One's mind boggles at the possibilities. To me, it's just a bunch of trees with a boggy area in. Look, there used to be a door here. For short people. My wife was a keen power ranger. She used to often do arrangements in the local churches and things, and all over the place there's bits of like this. Nice things she used to do her flower arrangements in. Mantovani record. Perry Como, Beer Lynn.
Lots of memories.
Yes, yeah. Roberta Flack. She's been around a while. Take care.
Neither of us want to go into a home. No. 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 Over my dead body. I'm too obstinate. I wouldn't do in a home.
So what are you going to do when you get sort of older and frailer?
Take an overdose. Of course, you realise one can live too long. Because things have changed so drastically, you find that hardly anybody thinks as you do. Do you feel that?
Well, we're surplus now, aren't we?
Oh, yes.
We're just taking up space.
Yes. That's a good way of describing it. We've outlived our usefulness, there's no doubt about that.
We just want incinerating, and that's it.
So you see, both of us were in the same boat, really. We're on the last knockings, as it were. But it's not demoralising. I mean, no one could have had a better life than I've had. I'm quite content. I'll sail along when the time comes. I'll opt out. Shall I buy a new coat? Well, I might not be here next season. No, I don't think I'll bother. That's how I've got now. I haven't bought a new winter coat because I don't think I'll be here next winter. I don't think any of us are going anywhere. Talk about going to heaven and hell, I think it's a lot of nonsense. I think when you die, that's it.
Oh, that's what I think too.
That's what I think. I mean, you didn't exist before you were born.
No, I said, where were you before you were born?
You weren't activated then.
No.
What do you think happens then?
Well, I think you go to sleep and you've had your life.
That's it.
Eternal life doesn't mean that the person lives on forever in one form or another. Not in my mind. Eternal life to me is the eternal chain of people having children. You've given life to another being, and hopefully they'll go on.
Yes, and they've given it to, and they go on and on and on.
Yes. I see, I'm the one that's let the side down. You should by rights have children.
You're the one that's ended the line, yes.
Yes, you see, that's wrong.
When I visited my mother at the funeral home after she died, we had an extraordinary conversation. I was aware of some response, whether I was second-guessing what she might have done, because I knew.
What did you say to her?
Oh, I touched her face and I said, "Goodness," I said, "you're cold." I said, "You're as cold in death as you sometimes were in life." And I felt really cross about how cold and distant she'd been. But what I also heard there was her very merry laugh, like the young woman having a merry laugh about the fact that she had been like that. It was very real, and as I say, anyone could tell me I was suffering from shock, and I'd say, yeah, you're probably right. But I can't. Oh my God! Look at that peregrine falcon. God.
Where?
It just literally. It wasn't. It was a sparrowhawk. It shot down over your shoulders and it pounced on something right there. You know what? I saw an otter the day after she died, the night she died. An otter down at Chalford Spring. Came up in the water and stood in the water, or lay in the water and looked up at us. We were filling the bottles at the spring, leaning over that rail. Great big otter. Probably 30 seconds of absolute kind of electrifying stillness, and then just a big swirl and he was off upriver.
Yes.
And I've reluctant to connect that to my mum, but somewhere, if I'm honest, I'm thinking possible that these are signals from behind the veil, and there is a veil. And it's not really our business to look behind it, but because it's such a great mystery. What's that doing there? This is our little chapel, which has both a fridge in it and, as it were, a space for people to come and see and visit the person who's died. We would have the person on here, and we take the cover off, and we'd probably lift her onto one of these stainless steel trays. We would then wash her face and eyes, perhaps put some oils, nice oils on her face. If it's a man, we would shave his face. There's a voluntary cross for, and if somebody is patently not a Christian, we would take this out. We'd always have flowers in here, but this would be, and this, I made this with a shell and a twine I made from nettles, and it's just a nice homemade thing. A stopped clock. I really like having a clock that isn't working, and they're quite often, strangely, clocks stop when the person in the house dies. It's a remarkable thing, but it does happen.
I've never had an unhappy life, so I don't know anything about purgatory. People say, oh, it was purgatory, so-and-so and so-and-so, oh, it was purgatory, you know, when something dreadful's happened. Well, I wouldn't know whether it would be purgatory or not. I couldn't tell you. I think life's what you make it. If you make a mess of it, you've got to untie the knots and get it straight again.
What, while you're still alive?
Well, yes. No good doing it when you're dead. Is it?
Do you like it here in the home?
Yes. There are homes and homes. I mean, I struck lucky coming here. It's not over the top. Everybody's very natural and friendly. I haven't crossed swords with anybody since I've been here. I've got rid of all my jewellery and putting everything into cash to live on for the rest of my life, however short or long that might be.
Do you expect to leave here then?
What, here?
Yeah.
Only in my box. Well, they might throw me out, that's a different matter. They might say she's a disturbing element. Now when we're going to stop here because we're going in the lift. That's the lift? Yeah. How do we get in? Oh, I see. Well, you've got to open that door and hold it, and you've got an inner door to open, the grill. How do I open that? Oh, push it back. Sideways. Oh, goodness. You're not very good on this lift, Emily. You'll have to have more practice. Well, they don't ask me how to work the lift. I don't know anything about it. You don't know how to work it? Well, neither do I. We're in now. We may never get out again. No. Shall we set it off? Yes, we're going.
How do we set it off?
Can't you? Don't touch it. If it's it'll be set to stop at floor whatever it is he wants to go to.
Is it moving now?
I thought it was, isn't it? I don't know. Yes, it's moving, I think.
How do we know when we've got there? What do you do to make it move?
I don't know, there's a button there somewhere.
Yes, well that was what I was going to do, was press the button there.
Well, press it and see. You'll blow us all up, you will.
We're going to the first floor now.
I don't know what floor I'm on, to tell you the truth. So how we should find out, I don't know.
It's stopped now.
I think so.
Yeah. Shall we get out? Where's your flat?
Oh, I don't know, one of these doors, I suppose. I don't know.
What number are you?
2, aren't I?
What?
I think I'm in 2, aren't I? Do you know? I don't.
Well, I don't know. I've never been here before.
Well, I don't know what number it is. My door should be open, but they're always open.
No, that's not it. That's not a flat.
That's a closet.
Yeah.
That's a closet.
That's a bathroom.
No, that's not my bathroom.
Well, it's not your bathroom, no. Let's try one of these other doors.
I've got the slightest idea where we're going.
Is this you? How do you recognise?
I don't know. What? Me, I don't know. What's it look like? Oh, I shouldn't think that's mine, I don't know. I shouldn't think that's anything to do with me.
Well, there's some photographs over there, they're not yours.
Oh, this is nothing to do with me.
No.
No, it's not my room. Nothing to do with me, huh? Well, we've got this one at the end. I think, seem to remember going to a room at the end. What's that say? What number?
Number 23.
That might be it. I think this might be it. This is going to be it.
This is it.
This is it.
This is it. No.
What's the time after all this?
4:45.
What day of the week is it?
Saturday.
Monday?
No, Saturday.
Saturday? I haven't a clue. I cruise
No, I
along
do know that.
day by day. I don't know what the day is.
I got the paper this morning. Yeah.
Otherwise you might not have known.
No, I don't.
I don't know what
often
day.
have to go and look at the paper to see what date it is and what time day of the week it is. Yes. Otherwise I wouldn't know if I didn't take a daily paper.
Oh, I go down to Stroud and go in the bank and ask them.
Oh. Why don't you telephone them and ask them?
Well, now that wouldn't occur to me. It never occurs to me to get on the telephone. That's before my time.